Leinth Aritimus awakes screaming. It's not the first time she's done so, and it certainly won't be the last. Beside her, Captain Sather Thrace startles awake. Her superior, her idol, and just yesterday her comrade in arms, feverishly watching each other's backs as they tore through Imperial mechs en masse. That's the furthest thing from her mind tonight, though. Leinth can't bear to look at her, not now. Every time she catches the faint moonlight against Captain's worried face, she sees a flash of the nightmare again. Leinth, is everything all right? She wants to say no. To say that of course it's not all right. She's not all right. There's a war going on, a war that looks so uncertain even after today's victory. The war isn't what's bothering her, though. Not directly, anyways. Leinth can take comfort in the war, take solace in the familiarity of piloting, of fighting alongside her comrades. It brings her happiness akin to nothing else. When she comes home from a well-run sortie, to see all the smiling faces that depend on her. Even if Leinth were to wind up a martyr tomorrow, she would eagerly take that fate with honor. No. What troubles Leinth most is the time away from the battle, the time spent alone and left with her own thoughts, the time spent worrying. She never has more time to worry than when she's asleep and her brain makes full use of it. She shouldn't trouble the captain with such things, though. Yeah, I'm fine, just a nightmare is all. Leinth's crackling and dreary voice betrays her every word. The captain tries to wrap an arm around her, but Leinth recoils from the touch as if it were one of Janitor's scorching hot exhaust ports. It wasn't just a nightmare. Those she can handle. They're commonplace for her and she knows they aren't real. Whatever this was felt so much more than that. Already the details are starting to slip from Leinth's mind, running away like spent coolant. She tries to grab at them, to hold on for dear life at every sickening thing that she saw. Maybe, just maybe, if she recalls them vividly enough, she'd be able to save them, to save her. The captain looks dejected from Leinth pulling away. She didn't mean it like that, but fuck. She's never been good with intimacy. Everything about herself starts to come into hyperfocus. The way that the sweat trickles down her skin, leaving her sticky and unsightly. How her hair must feel oily and disgusting, having not showered in God knows how long. Or how her flight suit is stained and torn in more places than it isn't. She's disgusting. She shouldn't be here, and the captain shouldn't see her like this. It's not right. She deserves better. Captain Thrace reaches in for another embrace. This time far slower, easing Leinth into it, like she's reaching for a wounded animal. Leinth doesn't recoil. She wants to, but she doesn't. The energy just isn't present in her body, and nothing in the world could change that. The weird state of increased focus that Leinth finds herself in only helps to exaggerate the exhaustion from a long week of tense piloting. And she just can't do anything but fall back into bed helplessly. You're all right, Leinth. It's okay. It wasn't real. It wasn't. And yet it was. It was realer than real, a horrifying world conjured up by her own mind. A warning, or just to torture her? Leinth isn't sure. She wants to throw up. Against her wishes, Leinth's eyes flutter shut from the exhaustion, and for the moment that they shut again, she sees her. It's just a flash, a half face against shadows, a soft, torturous smile seen just for a split second. But it's more than enough. Her whole body trembles with a fear more intense than she's ever felt. She's been on the brink of death plenty of times now. Twice even just yesterday, as a matter of fact. This is worse than that, because what the smile alluded to was worse than death, truly. The captain keeps trying to console her, gently cradling the shaking girl in their too small shared coot. On any other day, Leinth would kill for the opportunity to share a bed with the captain. She practically already has. Not tonight. Tonight the touch of a hero is wrong, tainted with something vile that she just can't shake from her mind. Like Sartha is a bit of radioactive mag detritus, and Leinth needs to run as far away as she possibly can. Tonight she can't bear to even look her captain in the eye. Leinth starts crying. She isn't quite sure how it took her so long to start. Maybe it was just the adrenaline from the sudden jolt awake that held back the tears. Maybe now she's just truly realizing how she feels. No matter the cause, the tears flow all the same. It's okay, Leinth. I'm here. She shouldn't be. She doesn't deserve the captain's comfort, and more than that, she doesn't think she ever wants it. But she's too tired to fight. She's too tired to fight anything anymore. Spent past the point of exhaustion. She doesn't even want to think about what stepping into janitor for tomorrow's inevitable battle, much less push her one point of contact away right now. So she lets the tears flow. The sounds that break free from her are wretched, pathetic, and unfitting to be heard in the presence of a superior, much less Captain Thrace. She must feel so uncomfortable by all of this. Captain never knew her much. Hell, they'd never even met before last week. Yet Leinth knew her all the same, as does almost everyone in the rebellion. How must that feel, being known by everyone, idolized before they even meet you face to face? And here's Leinth, breaking down crying, desperate for the hero to help her. Just like she said. It's all your fault. The words spring into her mind out of nowhere. A shot of straight poison directly to her inner self. She knows they hail from the nightmare, and yet they find safe passage into every last corner of her brain all the same. Because they're right. It's all her fault. She doesn't know exactly what is her fault, not yet. The specifics of the dream have so thoroughly fled her consciousness by now that she doesn't even know what there is to be scared of, and yet she knows she ought to be more scared than she can imagine. She wants to apologize, to say anything to the captain, but she can't. Every time Leinth tries to open her mouth to speak, the tears clog up her throat, and she just manages a painted wail. She hasn't cried like this in ages. Maybe it's just because her injection is tomorrow. Maybe it's the war finally getting to her. She doesn't know, and frankly, it's not all that important. She just can't help but cry. Leinth writhes around in the bed, the captain holding her tight. She buries her head against Sartha's chest, incorrect as it might be to do so. It's going to be okay, Leinth. The words sting worse than any impact Janitor has weathered throughout the years. They hurt so badly because she wants them to be true more than anything. She doesn't know if they are. Nobody can. Not even Sartha. The captain repeats the words again and again because she can surely tell that Leinth needs to hear them a whole lot more than just the once. The repetition feels good for the moment, but deep down Leinth knows it doesn't make the statement any more true. She tries again to speak, to pose some sort of disagreement. She knows it won't all be okay, and she needs to voice her fears so badly, because maybe that means she'll be proven wrong. Yet for some twisted reason, all that escapes her mangled mess of emotions is a limp and muffled "I love you," suffocating against the captain's flight suit. The words go unheard, or maybe just unrecognized, as they should. It's not a place to say something like that, not to a superior, not to Sartha Thrace. She doesn't even know where they came from. It's a long, painful process. Leinth's crying slowly subsides over the span of hours as she gently nestles herself against the captain. She's a good half-foot taller than Sartha, so it's easy enough for her to simply coil around her, almost like spooning. It's probably inappropriate for her to be so physical with her superior, but at the end of the day, who cares? There's a good chance she winds up staying in Janitor's cockpit tomorrow, so why shouldn't she indulge just a little? She is soft too. It's truly striking just how delicate the captain feels next to her. Her blonde hair is perfect, silky, and smells nice and fresh. Her skin is a similar story, and Leinth could probably spend hours just tenderly feeling the various ins and outs of the captain. She's almost aroused by it, but she can't. Not right now. Wouldn't be right, especially not while Thrace is sleeping. She has some decency even throughout everything. There's the faintest nagging in the back of her mind, telling her to just go for it anyway. To take a gentle feel, to run her fingers along the breasts that she once envied and truthfully still does. How would she feel, she wonders? Would the captain startle awake again? Or would she be in a dreamy state between consciousness, letting her subordinate gently grope and fondle her? Would Sartha even enjoy it? Enjoy her? Gods, she's hard. Leinth's bulging flight suit gently prods against the captain's thigh. She stirs for just a moment in the bed. She should stop. She's better than this. Leinth gently pulls away from the captain, collapsing onto her back as she stares up at the dead, concrete sky above them. She reaches her hand up to her face to adjust something strapped to her head. Nothing's there. What was she expecting to find? The dream is long gone from her mind now, only the captain's words lingering in her clouded head. It's going to be okay. Leinth Erythemus takes another look at Sartha Thrace and falls asleep contented for the first time in weeks. Maybe she's right after all. What else is there to believe even? The next time they see one another, Ansior will be barreling down on her.